investigate the crimes, and that was a thing they could get away with.
We should probably touch on the riots that have been going on in LA.
Man, it's crazy out here. You're pretty close to some of them, no?
I haven't been out there in the streets with a ski mask throwing a Molotov.
You haven't.
However, me and my girlfriend last night tried to go get dinner. There was a curfew at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It came over text message,
right.
Just like when a kid gets kidnapped over your phone, an involuntary text message. I'm still trying to figure out how to block those notifications.
You can't.
I don't give a shit. So what if a Chevy Impala is fucking last spotted green paint coat, like driving west on the freeway? Like, what am I going to do?
Well,
just start speeding in that direction and run the guy out the road?
What if you see the guy?
I am so unobservant.
It's, what if it was your child in there? The Amber Alert? Are you talking about the Amber Alerts?
Yeah, they're bullshit.
You don't want the Amber Alerts?
I want to block the notification.
What is wrong with you?
They do nothing.
No, you're not going to want to block those notifications. Those are the same ones that are going to tell you if there's an incoming missile.
No,
yeah,
I don't care
about
it.
In Hawaii,
an incoming missile is going to smoke everybody. That's not even.
We don't know that.
That's none of my concern.
You can go deep in underground,
but it tells you it's like middle-aged male with a Oregon license plate, last seen on Freeway 310 going north. Like, what am I going to do with that?
Well, if you're there, I mean, I'm pretty sure me and you we would follow the guy. Come on. We'd say, dude, being heroes.
If a camera was rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Being Ellen, dude, we'd be on Ellen DeGeneres and you could tell her off, man. Imagine that. Imagine me and you get on Ellen, dude.
Finally, I can resolve my beef with Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, Ellen, I have something to tell you. What would you tell Ellen? Could I be Ellen and you be you?
I got nothing to tell Ellen DeGeneres. I'm sorry. I've heard she's a cunt, but I don't know any of the reasons why.
Oh, dude. Who's a talk show host that you would just tell off and have something to say? Jimmy Fallon?
Why is my mind? I think Jimmy Fallon is just a kiss-ass puss with no spine.
All right, can I play Jimmy
don't
Fallon?
actively dislike the guy, though.
Can I play Jimmy Fallon?
There's not enough passion. Or there's not enough...
Jay Leno?
Great. I think Jay Leno's a nice guy.
I love Jay Leno. Yeah, I met him. He's great.
I think David Letterman's overrated and kind of a douche.
All right, do you want to? Should I be David fucking Letterman then?
But I've just said to you the only thing I have against David Letterman. I don't know that much about him. I just think he's overrated. You want to do the conversation?
What about the gay guy? What about the? No, he's not gay. What about the fat guy?
James Corden.
James Corden.
Oh, he's the worst of all.
All right, well, you guys should be James Corden.
But again, the depth of my dislike, Leo. I'm sorry. I didn't get much sleep last night. But the depth of my dislike is. You drive around with pop stars singing like a preteen in cars, a Range Rover, and you're fat. Other than that, I got nothing on the guy.
That would have been a good improv. You would have called James Corden me fat in the middle. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yesterday, though, the riots.
Yeah.
They moved the curfew back from 7 to 5, so I have to scramble to get food because it's 4:45 last time I looked at my watch. Yeah. So we go out. This city is a fucking strange place right now.
Very, very strange. It's a little scary. I mean, they were that big mall that we fucked around in by my house. It's the 5th biggest mall in America, or top 5. They were trying to get into it this morning, apparently.
The writers?
The writers, yeah. And it's sad that that's what they're turning to try to make a difference. But do you think that what they're doing is more or less effective than silent protests? Because silent protests, they've been doing them for years, man. Nobody cares. I mean, the news is going to put the looters out there.
It's a good question, man. I was just listening to the Adam Carolla show to get Adam's take on it.
Oh, cool.
And what Adam was talking about, he had an attorney on. He's Colin Kaepernick's attorney.
Oh, cool.
He defends people from police violence all the time. He gets big settlements for families. And this guy, who's defending black people who are getting shot, he's defending Colin Kaepernick or doing some sort of litigation for him. He says that it's completely the media because white cops shoot white people constantly, black cops shoot Mexicans constantly, but all the news cares about reporting is an incident where a white cop is treating a black person like
and that's when you look at who's above maybe the government, people that own the media, whoever owns the media, they're putting this out because, like us, they need the views. And they know that this is going to impact, look, now we can't fuck with this virus anymore. We can't mess with them. So now we're going to incorporate this black on white thing that this is going to rile everybody up.
I think the first thing you said is all you need to say. That people know it's going to drive massive views if it's racially charged.
It's views at the end of the day. And yes, look, I know that somebody else is running the world that we don't know about, I guess.
It could be Archangel Austin. Yeah. But I know this. When I was younger, before social media, before this clickbait news era, the idea of white and black to me almost meant nothing. Like, I was just thinking back. When I was in community college, one of my best friends on campus was this black dude, James. We'd hang out during lunch. We'd go get beers after class. We'd talk all class, exchange notes, study together. It never even popped into my head.
Right.
He's black.
Right.
I didn't think about it once.
Yeah.
And then once I got to college and I started getting lectured all the time, oh, you and all your ancestors are evil people.
Right.
You need to bow down before any minority, woman, any trans person. You know what? In fact, anybody in a wheelchair, they're better than you. Once you start hearing that stuff, what it did was it just made me, like, I guess, extra nice to anybody who was black who I ran into because I felt bad and I felt this white guilt all of a sudden that was put on me by school and by the media. But I felt yesterday, Leo, after these riots and after the footage of the cop with his knee in that man's neck, like, I felt afraid to even look anybody who was black in the eye.
Look,
I'm afraid to make. I feel like they all hate me right now.
I would love the idea of doing an Edward 40 hands in the riots, but I'm pretty sure we'd get attacked.
It'd be difficult to defend ourselves. You saw me try to fight last time during Edward 40 hands.
Well, the guy was so little, and he wasn't going to even really reach your head. But I'm pretty sure you could defend yourself. But yeah, if we were completely hammered and something was happening like Austin or something, I feel like being sober would be a lot better.
But do you get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I do. We're being manipulated. We're being manipulated.
But have you felt this? When I go around the city streets right now, when I'm jogging, walking down the street, I'm afraid to even glance over and see if a black person's looking at me because I'm afraid to see rage in their eyes and think, this white motherfucker, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I had to stick my boot knife up under this kid's ribs.
Well, you'd talk your way out of it.
I was talking to my black neighbor, Tony, who I love down the street. Yeah, I was talking to him today. Him and I always talk. He used to have a coke problem, he revealed to me. Used to get in a bunch of street fights. I gave him a tip about the jerk-off parlor that's over by the 7-Eleven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Leo told me about this jerk-off. Some time ago, he told me about this jerk-off spot. And my neighbor, Tony, I felt that he deserved that information.
It's very good ratings online.
Him and I were talking about my black neighbor, Tony, about my stints down in the Mexican whorehouses.
Oh, Jesus.
I had to tell him these stories to gain his trust because he's got kind of a gnarly past, so I wanted to bond with him. So I was like, he might have been talking about the weather or football score or something. And I was like, oh, Tony, these Mexican whorehouses or something else. And he's like, what? And I'm like, and then I told him the story about the time I got a hand job in a booth that was in the restaurant/bar area of the whorehouse strip club for $25. Just like in open space, people watching, just got jacked off.
Really? I never heard that story.
I was down in Mexico.